Good night, people of God. I was up. What time is it? 11:30. You know I'm an early bird. I go to bed early and I wake up early. But I happen to be up because my phone's I heard it kept going off and I don't have my phone. I try not to um sleep with my phones in the bedroom with me. So I just heard my phones kept going off, and then I had to wake up. I used the restroom. And that was my neighbor, my next door neighbor, calling me. She and her husband, sometimes they're up late at, well, they usually are late nighters. They're like in their, a little past their 70s. And she told me this neighbor that lives in the vicinity, not on our block at all, the one I mentioned the other day, um, that take it upon the self-proclaimed um neighborhood popo that goes around thinking they can police people on their property. She tells me this lady that lives around the corner, up the street, is walking around with the flashlight. She walked around their yard shining a light. Now my neighbors, like I said, she and her husband, they're up in age. They don't even, they can't get around as well as they used to, but they're fairly decent people. They don't bother anybody if they can help with anything. They'll help. They're animal lovers. But this lady is on our block, and she walked in front of their property shining a flashlight. And my neighbor was calling to tell me she was walking up near my way, but I didn't. Me and Daniel and Monte, we went out, we didn't see anyone. But what I want to say is, people of God, there is truly no rest for the wicked. The enemies of God's people are not at peace. They are heavily disgruntled. And if you let sometimes what you see, that the wrong that other people do, if you really let that just ruffle your feathers and get under your skin, it'll pull you from a place of elevation. It'll delay, you know, sometimes your breakthrough that's coming in, it blocks your focus. And sometimes the enemy can use disgruntled people like that who are trapped in their misery um, to pull you down. So truly, like I said the other day, silence is one of our greatest weapons. When my neighbor, she and I stayed on the phone chatting for a little bit, she was telling me about a lot of things that I didn't even know of that she had to deal with from this lady prior to me buying my home, which was over nearly almost 17 years ago. And she talked about how years ago they had set up a neighborhood association, which was really to help the elderly and take out the trash and help the people in the neighborhood who needed help. But when she and this lady and her husband started being the way that they were, everyone kind of just did away with it. And she said she even had to email the sheriff about this lady some years ago because she would come in her yard. She said once she planted I forgot what she said she planted something along the fence because she liked the way that it grows. And I do remember I see some of the plants along her fence now, but I forgot the name of what you call them. I've never been good at planting flowers just for decoration and stuff like that. But my neighbor, she loves it. And she has some aloe vera and stuff like that growing. But she said this same lady just took it upon herself, came into her yard one day, and she was just ripping the stuff off of her fence where she had it planted. And she said, so I went out there and I actually had to stop her. And she just smiled and was like, oh, I thought it was weed. But I don't care if you thought it was weed. I don't care what you thought it was. See, them the type of people that make somebody that don't cuss. Them the type of people that make you cuss them out. But my neighbor, she was responding. I could tell she was upset, but she was like, yeah, I just told her to go away. She responded gracefully. But that would really make somebody upset if you took your time to plant something, somebody who doesn't live near you, not your next door neighbor, not your just a few houses down neighbor, but somebody who just lives in the vicinity and is taking it upon themselves to come onto your property and rip your stuff off, you know? And so apparently, um, these people have a very bad reputation, and they're not spring chickens. These people should also be, I believe her husband is, probably in his mid 70s, if not close to 80s, and they both have fallen to illness. And you would think that they would not, when God has restored them, they wouldn't receive their strength back and go around harassing the very people that live within their vicinity. You don't have a right to do that. Then she told me, um, the other day when I put a camera out in a certain place in my yard that I couldn't see because something was moved. And then she told me it was, she saw her husband saw the lady. It was the lady that came in my yard. And I was like, okay. I thought she got her little guy to do it, but it was her. She's trespassed in my yard. And it's like, you know, silence. The enemies of God's people are destroying themselves. They're exposing themselves. They're disgruntled. And what I see is like, we have free will. We all know right from wrong. But there are some people, when they've stayed in their wicked place for so long, it's like they become trapped. They've been giving over to a reprobate mind. They're trapped in their wickedness. And if you are quick to act, if you are quick to anger, these people can cause you to do or say something that could get yourself in trouble when really they're already falling. They're falling. That's why you got to be wiser than the serpent. You got to sit back and assess a situation. People are deteriorating in their minds, because the mind is like the engine of a car. Once that engine dies, that's the life of the car. And once you don't have your sound mind anymore, you're failing. Who would be? It's 11. It's almost midnight. It's 11:30. It's 11:30 p.m. I would sleep. I would enjoy myself. I sleep good when I go to bed at night. I always sleep good at night. I go to bed in peace. I wake up in peace, you know? And so for someone to be walking around in a neighborhood, shining the light on people's house who ain't even thinking about you, people is sleeping in peace, you know? You shining the light on them married folk house, they sitting up watching their TV. They like to sit up late. My elderly neighbor, she and her husband, they like to sit up late and watch TV. They'll stay up so late and then they sleep late. She said, I like waking up. I hear the roosters crowing. She hear the roosters and make her think about when she was growing up. But, you shining the light on these married folk house. Where your husband at? Why aren't you and your husband ain't at home cuddled up, making some love or doing something? That's misery. There is no rest for the wicked. And nobody in the neighborhood on my whole block, nobody likes you because it's like you have this need for control. That's a Jezebel spirit. That's a Jezebel spirit. You're going on people's property, messing with people's stuff. You're breaking the law for what? You ain't even getting paid. At least, I had enough time putting in as the real police and to be out here being a self-proclaimed, doing something I ain't getting paid for. For what? There is no rest for the wicked. The enemies of God's people are disgruntled. And see, let me tell you, people be so trapped in their misery. They get happy when they see everybody at peace. They get happy. I'm surrounded by, on my whole neighborhood, by married folk. Everybody's married and at peace. And they go and about their business, folk, my married folk that are retired. Then I got folk that the rest of them, everybody work, going on about their business, saying hey and bye, helping or trading stuff when they can trade it and sharing stuff. We shares with each other. We watch out for each other. But if you round the corner up the block coming down to our block, what? We ain't got we good over here. What you looking for? There is misery loves company. Misery loves company. Then she said she went around. She went around the corner, said she gonna tell the people they can't paint something on their property. Some people that were painting, neighbors around the corner painting. She telling them they ain't doing this. We don't got no homeowners association around here. These folk is buying their land and their property, buying it. So there is no rest for the wicked. People of God, wherever you at right now, you might be seeing some crazy stuff. You might be dealing with stuff. Folk might be trying to push your button. Don't you be quick to anger. You be slow to wrath. Be slow to wrath. Be wiser than a serpent. Sit back and watch the situation. Folk might be sitting back envious of you, mad at you because you at peace and they not, because you happy and they not. And then some folk have some deeply rooted hate within them that they never discarded, that they never got rid of. And as they getting up in age, that stuff is coming out from the root, baby. It coming out from the root, and they ain't got no peace. They already not at peace. So don't let unpeaceful people who are disturbed internally, don't let people who are disturbed internally disturb you. You sit back and you watch, and some things you be quiet. Be quiet. They ain't doing nothing to cause you no bodily harm. And if they get too much out of the way, you might have to put some paperwork on them. But you try not to do that, especially to your elders. They might get themselves, you might have to call the ombudsmans, get some folk might need a little commitment into some special facility. That may be the next step. They may get themselves committed, but you be slow to wrath. The enemies of God's people are destroying themselves. Don't let them pull you into that misery. Misery loves company. This is the time you see it happening every day. There is truly no rest for the wicked. They are not at peace. I don't care how folk try to act like they at peace. They not at peace. And you ain't got to go looking for them. Just sit back and live. Stay in your own lane. Live your life day by day. People is doing crazy stuff. They trapped in their wickedness and don't wish nothing on nobody. I pray that God deliver folk from that spirit of misery. But some folk, we know that will be given over to a reprobate mind. I ain't got nothing to do with that. My heart ain't wicked towards nobody. Got nothing but love. I'm not going to let miserable folk make me miserable. So anyway, stay at peace, people of God. I just had to share that and also give another reminder. If wherever you at in the earth, if you seeing some miserable folk trying to pull you into misery, trying to bait you into conflict, trying to ruffle your feathers, doing things that's illegal just to try to exalt some type of control or authority over you, be slow to wrath. Be slow to wrath. Sometimes just hold your tongue. Folk is doing stuff to get themselves in trouble. You ain't even got to do nothing. They gonna fall by their own wickedness, right? So anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna roll back over and get me some more sleep. I'm gonna get up early. I'll probably get up at 4 a.m. So I got about 3-4 more hours to lay down and enjoy my rest. So you guys have a blessed night. I love you. Know that we are the light of the world. We are the salt of the earth, baby. We can't lose our saltiness. And the blood of Jesus is the only blood that has power. You stay in peace. Have a blessed night. I love you.